It's safe to say that Max's story in the Stranger Things series is far from over. In the last episode, Max was in a coma, but what exactly happened to her when 11 brought her back to life, and how will this affect her going forward? Stick around because you're about to find out. Max will be a seer. Max may be in a coma, but she will likely still have a major role in the upcoming season. Her connection to Vecna might be what helps the team finally defeat him. Nancy, Steve, and Robin attempted to kill Vecna, but he was able to escape in the end. He may be weak, but he will definitely be back in the 5th season.
It's only the beginning of the end.
This would make his connection to Max very important to the plot in Season 5. As the only victim who survived halfway through, Max's mind might be trapped in Vecna. This might allow her to leverage their connection to help the team. The severity of Max's injuries mean that she might never fully recover. Several of her bones were broken, and she also couldn't see right before she died. However, she could use her connection to Vecna to see into his mind and figure out what he is planning. This would make her a seer, a Dungeons & Dragons character whose power revolved around foresight. Stranger Things is known for basing some of its content on the Dungeons & Dragons game, so it wouldn't be surprising if Max turned into a seer. When she first joined the group, she was a zoomer, another D&D character whose power is speed. Losing her eyesight will likely turn Max into the group's seer. 11 will have to save Max again. Another theory that will likely play out in Season 5 is 11 going into Vecna's mind to save Max. Several statements prove that Max is stuck somewhere within Vecna's mind. According to Brenner, one consumes his victims, so Max is likely inside Vecna in some way. This is also backed by one statement in Episode 7 after he killed the children at the Hawkins facility. He told 11 that the children weren't gone, and instead they were with him in his mind.
They're not gone. They're still with me. Near.
This means that Vecna keeps all of his victims in a part of his mind. However, because Max's death was not complete, she might be in a different part of his mind. This would allow 11 to go into Vecna's mind and save Max. She would likely have to enter Max's mind again, and this time to find her in the darkness.
Max!
11 did something similar to this in Season 3 when she entered Billy's mind and helped him overcome the influence of the Mind Flayer. This time, she will be going into Vecna's mind to retrieve Max. It will be truly fascinating to see the inside of Vecna's mind and find out where he is keeping Max trapped. Max is brain dead. This isn't a theory because it has been confirmed by the Duffer Brothers themselves. When Elle goes into Max's mind, she sees absolutely nothing, which means that Max's body may be alive, but her mind is lost. This supports the theory that her mind is trapped in Vecna's mind. Lucas also stated that according to the doctors, she may never wake up, which means the doctors may have come to the same conclusion. However, Max being brain dead does not eliminate future involvement in the series. It creates a realm of possibilities that would make for an incredible final season. Vecna will come for Max. Another possible theory is that Vecna will return to finish the job with Max. Her permanent death might allow him to spread the gates of the Upside Down even further, and his connection to her will make it easy to track her down. But with Will's connection restored, he will be able to detect Vecna's presence before he can harm Max. Will, Max, and 11 are the only members of the group who have had a close connection to Vecna and the Upside Down. This means that Season 5 will likely revolve around their connection and how the team leverages this to put an end to Vecna for good. Max has some of 11's powers. There is a slight chance that 11 transferred some of her powers to Max when she revived her. To bring Max back to life, 11 would have needed an incredible amount of power. So it's possible that in the process, she accidentally gave Max a part of her power. This theory is a bit unlikely, but it may be what helps Max transform into a seer in the upcoming season. Vecna turns Max into a host. Although it's highly likely that Max will use her connection to Vecna to help the team, it's also possible that things could go the other way. Instead of Max using Vecna, he could use her. Similar to what the Mind Flayer did to Will and Billy in Seasons 2 and 3. Vecna could take control of Max's body and use it to do his bidding. But that would be pretty pointless since most of her bones are broken. However, if Max is released from the hospital, Vecna could use her to track down the group. He could also listen in and find out about their plans. Either way, Max's life and death state and her connection to Vecna will be instrumental in the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. Max will die. Max spent the entire season running from Vecna. he wanted to kill her and add her to his sick collection of mangled corpses, and to use her to open a gate to the Upside Down. When the Hawkins group created a plan to kill Vecna, Max volunteered to be bait because she knew Vecna wanted her. And the plan seemed flawless, but things started going downhill pretty quickly. While Vecna tried to kill Max, Nancy, Steve, and Robin snuck into the Krill house in the Upside Down to kill him. They thought he would be unconscious and easy to kill. However, Vecna knew they were there and used the vines in the Krill house to trap them. This showed that unlike 11, Vecna can still use his powers when he enters into his subconscious state. He also trapped 11 and Max with vines and then started consuming Max. Lucas was outside ready to save Max if things got bad, but Jason showed up and threatened to kill him. This led to a fight, and in the process, Jason accidentally broke the cassette player that would have saved Max's life. When Vecna put his hand on Max's face in the mindscape, she began to float in the real world, causing Lucas to freak out and break free of Jason's chokehold. Unfortunately, he was too late because Max's bones started breaking. He and 11 watched in horror as Vecna tried to kill Max, but after an encouraging pep talk from Mike, 11 broke free from Vecna's vines and used her powers to push him away from Max. In the real world, Max fell into Lucas's arms when she was released from Vecna's mindscape. She told Lucas that she couldn't feel or see anything and that she didn't want to die.
I can't feel or see anything. I don't want to die. I'm not ready.
Sadly, the injuries she sustained from Vecna's attack were too much for her, so she died for 1 whole minute. Within that time, the final gate to the Upside Down opened and destroyed nearly half of Hawkins. With all 4 gates open, the Upside Down began to bleed into Hawkins, causing the death of many of the town's people, including Jason. After watching Max die, 11 decided to try something she had never done before. She placed her hand on Max's chest and used her powers to revive her. This showed a new level to 11's powers that has never been explored before. Her time in the Nina project likely gave her new powers that she will continue to unlock in the upcoming season. Max came back to life, but she was in a coma in the last episode. 11 tried to do a head dive, but all she saw was pure darkness. Normally, she would have been able to find Max's subconscious mind, but this time she couldn't. Lucas also said that she might never wake up from the coma.
When she'll wake?
No, they say she might not.
This could mean that Max is brain dead, trapped within Vecna, or both. Brenner once told 11 that one didn't simply kill, he consumed, adding that he takes everything his victims are and all they will ever be. This means that Max's mind might still be trapped in Vecna with his other victims. She was the first victim to survive an attack from Vecna, and her situation becomes even more complicated because 11 brought her back to life. It's possible that although her body is back, her mind is trapped in Vecna. We'll only find out when the final season of Stranger Things comes out.